All right. As the pandemic continues, we need to focus on healthy habits and behaviors.
Those little things really do make a difference.
Really do.
Dr. Laura Saunders is a psychologist at the Institute of Living, and she has some tips on what we can do. Thanks for being here, Doc. I mean, it's tough, especially if you get put into quarantine or isolation, which is happening to more and more people because of the rates going up.
Yeah, and I'm just worried about isolation overall. I mean, we just got through Thanksgiving a little bit ago. People can't be with their families the way they used to. Some people are working remotely. So I am really concerned about isolation for a lot of folks. So we have kind of come up with a little checklist of things that you need to do. So, right, you start off with the basics. You need to shower and bathe every day, right? You need to take your prescribed medication. You need to drink a lot of water, right? So those are some really core basics that you need to start with each day.
Why will water affect our emotions? Why is water so important for why water is so important for our emotions? We know it's important for just general health, but why for our emotions?
I think the more we cleanse our body, we cleanse our mind, right? It's like creating some routines and structure is what really helps our mental health. So the more we have, I drink a glass of water in the afternoon, I drink a glass of water in the evening, hopefully more than that, but minimally you're creating routines, and that's what soothes the soul.
I love the fact that you say take a shower every day. We are so privileged as Americans to have showers that we can go into every single day. It's not everybody has this across the world.
Right. It can be. That's one of my favorite places, right?
It's soothing.
Now I have a teenage daughter that I notice the showers are lasting like a half an hour, but she says it's the one thing I look forward to. I'm like, okay, then do it.
Right.
And these are guidelines, right? I think we could equally substitute, even if you need to shower or bathe several times a week, because what it is actually time to yourself, right? That's what it also represents. It's time alone, time to yourself. What I should, add to the list is getting dressed, right? It's not a good idea to stay in your pajamas all day. If you're working, even if you're working from home, creating some of these routines is really soothing. You need to do something each day to get your heart rate up. I mean, it's a bonus if it's outside. There's finding some small moments where you can listen to a song that you love or focus visually on something and let your mind wander. That it's like a meditation, but it's a very simple and basic meditation. So it's doing some of these things to create more wellness in your life, because I know we're having a boom in mental health difficulties out there because of COVID, because of some of the restrictions, because of, lots of family things going on. So it's worrisome.
And go ahead, Karen.
Well, I love that you gave a little checklist. I'm a big list person because I think that does help create structure. You go back, somehow lists make you feel better. But you have an end of the day wellness checklist. And number one, you say we need to just pause and reflect on our day and look in the mirror and say one nice thing about yourself. This is something that you read about now that they call it mirroring, but looking in the mirror, actually saying something nice about yourself makes a real difference.
Yeah, I mean, what we're trying to do is a little more self-reflection, right? I'm trying to feel better about myself. I want other people to feel better about themselves. Look in the mirror, say one nice thing about yourself today. I stayed dressed all day today, or I worked hard today, or I did the best job I could as a parent, or just find one nice thing. It's okay to reflect on 3 things that you did well during that day and one thing that was difficult. And acknowledge that thing that was difficult for you without judgment, without getting down on yourself, without judging yourself, and then asking yourself the question, am I okay?
Yeah, that's the question.
Because if you're not okay.
Right. What do you do if you're not okay? What if the answer is no?
Right. Well, that's when we get back to some of the resources that we talk about each week, right? The HHC community care line, 211, ask your pediatrician, am I surviving or am I thriving?
Right.
So, and if the answer is, well, I'm not great, but I'm okay, right? That's why I don't ever talk about happiness. I talk about fulfillment. I don't talk about being great. I talk about being okay. So we have to just have kind of a basic standard. We're in a global pandemic. Everyone's struggling, but am I okay today? And if I'm not okay, what do I need to do to help myself? Because the identification needs to come from within first.
So it's important, it sounds like what you're saying, it's important to lower our expectations. Sometimes we can get really down on ourselves because we're not up here where we think we have to be, or especially with
Right.
young children looking on Instagram and it looks like everyone else has it all figured out.
Right. Well, that's what we're going to talk about next week. There are no Hallmark families, right? But taking that time to reflect, doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. I am a big checklist person too. You know, what do I need to do to start the day? What do I need to do to end the day? Creating some sense of structure and peace, and also finding one activity. And I don't care if that activity is going out to the mailbox or, cleaning one small thing. And that could just be, I cleaned the kitchen counter. I wiped down the kitchen counter today, right? Creating some routines, doing one small thing that creates a sense of accomplishment. I'm not talking about cleaning the whole house. I'm not talking about, resurfacing your driveway. I'm talking about creating small things that fill that bucket and create a sense of accomplishment.
All right. Thanks, Doctor. We appreciate your time. We hope you have a great week. We'll see you next week for that tease. Hallmark families. I love it.
Yes, no Hallmark
Families, yes.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
still to